One of the most frustrating things about making videos is remembering what you want to say. You could have notes that you can keep glancing at, but that could be very distracting. And what should take a lot less time to shoot and edit takes hours or days because all of those mistakes take a long time to edit out. Well, since I started using a teleprompter, my video production time has been cut down significantly. And in this video, I want to share with you what I think is the best teleprompter and what the best app is to use with this teleprompter. And if you stay until the end of this video, I will share some tips that I have learned to help you look more natural while using a teleprompter, so only you will know that you are using one and not your audience. Hi, it's Steve from It Makes Sense, where I share with you the best tools, tips, and strategies to grow a YouTube business. And one of the tools that I've absolutely fallen in love with is the Parrot Padcaster teleprompter. It's currently $103 from Amazon.com at the time of filming this, and it comes with a case, the mounting rings, a glass cleaning kit, and a remote control. The Parrot Padcaster is so easy to use. Let me show you how I use it on my Canon M50 with my Sigma lens. So all you need to do is find the right ring that fits your particular lens. In my case, it's the Sigma. So I screw it into the lens, and then at the back of the Padcaster, you remove this cover, and then you just slide it right over this ring. That's how easy it is. And then what you do is you slide off the protective covering a little bit, and then you attach your phone to the bottom where the spring-mounted latch is. It really is that simple. And I will leave a link in the description below where you can go check out the current price of this teleprompter. One of the things that I really love about this teleprompter is just how portable it is. It's perfect for vlogging, traveling, or if you need to shoot different scenes in different locations and you don't want to travel around with one of those big, huge teleprompters. There are only two downsides to this teleprompter, and one is the build quality. It's made of plastic, and where you insert the phone is a little flimsy. The other is you have to be careful when you're connecting your phone, because I've read some reviews of people that have actually cracked their phones. But if you are careful not to snap the springs, you shouldn't have an issue. And for $103, the pros of this teleprompter really outweigh the cons. Alright, the app I use is the Prompt Smart Pro, and you can get this on the App Store for $19.99. You can also get it for the Android device on Google Play. And you can use this app on your iPhone as well as your iPad, but if you're going to use the Padcaster, then you have to use your iPhone. This app is very easy to use, so you can see all of my different scripts here. And to add a script, you can either do a new script and just start typing right within the app, or you can upload from like Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, Microsoft OneDrive. I think it's actually easier to type it out in Google Drive and then import it than to type on the actual app. And then once you have a script that you want, then you can edit it here, and you can also change the different settings. So for instance, I can change the font here to different sizes. So for instance, if I want it to be small, I can change the text color. Let's say if I want it blue. The one thing that you want to make sure is that if you're using the Padcaster or really any teleprompter, you have to make sure that this mirror vertically is checked. Otherwise, you'll be reading the mirror image in your teleprompter. And there's different settings that you can go through. Another cool feature of this app is if you want to use this as a teleprompter and you're filming on your iPhone, it has Selfie Mode. So this puts the text right next to the camera. It doesn't put it on the screen, it puts it right next to the camera, so you can, doesn't look like your eyes are looking at the screen. It looks, your eyes are reading directly next to the camera. The best feature of this app is the voice track software, and this will keep the text moving as you speak, so you don't have to take unnatural breaks when you're shooting. You can set it to track your voice, or you can also set it to a pre-recorded speed, but I find that the voice track works better. So for instance, right here, I could have it set to 182 words per minute. I can increase that or decrease that with this little scroll bar. Let me turn off the mirror vertically and show you what I mean. So let's go back and let's hit play. And then let's hit play. And if it, as I start to talk, let's scroll down. And once I start talking, so let's go here. One of the most frustrating things about making videos is remembering what you want to say. So you can see that the text starts to move as I'm filming and as I'm talking. Now, if you're going to be a couple of feet away from your iPhone as you're using the teleprompter, then just using the iPhone's microphone is just fine and the voice track will pick up your voice. However, if you're going to be several feet away, I find that it's best to plug in a lapel microphone into your phone and use it that way. This way the app can hear you reading the script. And I use this Boya lapel microphone and it works great with my iPhone. You just need this little adapter that came with the iPhone to use the microphone. But if you don't want to use the voice track or the preset speed, Smart Pro also has a remote app you can download, but it's an extra $11.99, which I have and I don't find very useful. It was actually a waste of money. And finally, if none of these options work for you, you can just scroll the text with your finger in between screens with this manual scroll. Hey, if you're getting value from this video, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments down below if you use a teleprompter for your videos. Now, I will say that using a teleprompter can drastically improve the time it takes to make videos, but it does take some getting used to. When I first started using it, one of my YouTube friends knew right away that I was reading a script, and unless you are a full-time news anchor, which I am not, it can take some practice. But here are some tips that I have learned along the way that has really helped me use this teleprompter. Tip number one is to use gestures. And if you just stare right at the camera and read, people can tell. So for instance, but if you move around a little and some hand movements and make it look like you are having a normal conversation, you don't want to talk like that. You want to make it look like you're having a real conversation with a friend. And moving my hands is difficult for me because I'm not overly expressive talker off camera, but it's something that I've really worked with, which is to move my hands, not that I'm doing this all the time. Tip number two is to move your head slightly so it changes the direction of your eyes. Now, you don't have to look like you're doing neck exercises, but again, anything you can do to not look robotic will really help you out. Tip number three is to use voice inflections.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Not that kind of inflection, but change the pitch and tone of your voice so you don't sound like a robot reading a script when you're filming your videos. Tip number four is to make sure you don't have overly long sentences, because otherwise you will talk too much and you will run out of air and it'll become very difficult to talk and people will be able to tell that you're reading because you run out of air. See what I'm talking about? I like to write my script in chunks because it allows me to pause, take a breath, get a drink of water, and then continue on with shooting my film. I also like to use those breaks to help me know which segment to edit out when I'm doing my video editing in post. And tip number five is to make sure you know your script or outline before you shoot your video. Now, I'll write my script probably 1 or 2 days before I actually film the video, because then I go back and I read it aloud, and sometimes it doesn't sound when you talk out loud, so that doesn't sound right. You want to read your script out loud before you start filming, because inevitably you're going to find things that don't sound quite right when you speak it out loud. So you want to catch those things before you start filming. One of the other benefits that I forgot to mention about using a teleprompter is that it can keep you on point, so you don't babble throughout your video, especially if you script it before you shoot it or if you're using note cards. And that just leads to a better all user experience. Another thing that can really help your videos and create an amazing user experience is great lighting. And I did a full review of the lights that I love to use in my videos, and you can go check that out here. Hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel as I'm putting out weekly content to help you build a YouTube business. And I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.